Let's tackle the new Pure Fiction with only 4 stars and Himeko. Himeko is so strong that she's going to help us get an easy 40k to start, and that way Serval is going to clean up the remaining 20k that is needed for the 3 stars. Now, Asta did use her technique, which means that she's going to get her ult up immediately, very important, although she does need to be on either cogs or memories of the past to get that ult up immediately. That's going to help us get more actions. Our entire speeds are like super low. We're at 102 and 102 on both Herta and Himeko. Himeko is E1, so I do believe she gets like a 20% speed boost or something like that. It doesn't do too much. Asta is going to make our team not incredibly slow. Now, as you can see, pretty much every instance of ult that we do or damage is going to take somebody below 50%, which is going to trigger Herta, and usually all that toughness, because, I mean, everybody is either fire or ice weak, is going to trigger a Himeko follow-up. And Himeko follow-up into Herta follow-up into Himeko follow-up into Dice. It's just a constant wave. Now, hopefully we can wipe out this enemy without needing Himeko. Even though I think my skill's level 2 or something on Asta, it did work out. Now, we'll apply the defense shred with Pela. We do have Eagle set, right? I do like Eagle, especially in Pure Fiction, because we only have 5 cycles to work with, and just squeezing out a couple more actions with Pela is extremely important, because the more ults we can apply, right, the more we can actually get some value out of Pela. And I do like having that extra 5% energy regen on Pela, because the Penacony set, not only is it going to increase the damage of Herta, obviously, but Pela is a character that just gains so much energy. Every time an enemy is going to die, she's going to gain 5 energy, and 5 energy times 1.25 is 6, 6 point something. So 6.2 energy every single time an enemy dies is quite good. And we're going to pair this with the fact that the buff we picked for Pure Fiction was the one that's going to give us energy every single time the dice drops. And I think that's a great synergy. Asta is the only character that doesn't really need that, but the fact that we can just trigger constant follow-ups whenever we get Himeko's ult, Herta's ult, and then Pela's ult is just going to death shred everybody and make sure that we can just wipe the waves. I mean, it's genuinely it's a great team. Not to mention that this side is just literally ice and fire weak, so it's the perfect combobulation of teammates. Okay, we can almost wipe it out. It would have been nice for the other one to die too. It never dies. It'll never die. Anyway, we'll waste a skill here, but it should be fine. At this point, we're going to apply the Death Shred, and then we'll just AoE with Herta. For the most part, I feel like Pure Fiction runs aren't very, skill intensive, unless you're using, like, harder builds, or builds that aren't good. Right? Because if you're not taking advantage of the Pure Fiction buff, and if you're not applying a ton of follow-ups, then it actually does get relatively tough if you don't have like an Argenti or just something that can consistently wipe every single wave. You're going to see how Serval in the next side, there's like this kind of like this threshold where you can kill all the adjacent enemies super easy, but a lot of times they just end up with a sliver. So it's like you kind of want to get rid of the energy regen rope that you usually want to put on DPSs and then change it for attack. For this run, I do believe half of my DPSs are on energy regen rope. So go check out the builds after to see exactly which ones were. I know Himeko is. Herta is not. Herta is on attack just because her frequency of attacks, you do want them to actually do a good amount of damage. They're not very strong, Herta's follow-ups. At this point, we'll just target the little guys. Hopefully we can wipe them out. Herta will clean it up. Or not. Okay, as you can see, I mean, 2 attacks, it still didn't clean up those little enemies. So, you put like a Ron May instead of Pela, this team becomes way better. Way better. We have the skill points, we might as well skill. At this point, that break is going to give us the extra debuff, which is going to trigger Pela's talent and then give us the energy for the ult. Even though we have tutorial on Pela, if you're not attacking a def-reduced enemy, then you're not going to get that energy. And then she gains a surprising little amount of energy when she's on tutorial and you're not attacking a defense shred enemy. When she's on resolution, her basic always triggers her talent. I mean, it's literally insanity. I mean, it's literally just attack after attack after attack, and then that pure fiction buff just giving all of our ults back is absolutely busted for this team. Literally broken. And at this point, we wiped out everything. So all we have to do is just clean up that one elite, and then Bronya will be vulnerable, and she'll take like 10 times the amount of damage. We pretty much just spam everything at this point, doesn't matter. I'm really looking forward to Robin. Just seeing how she's going to replace Asta is going to be really, really cool. Because, I mean, if you see what Asta can do during this fight, you pretty much just have to imagine what Robin's going to do with even bigger buffs and then just like straight action advances. And a full team action advance is crazy. And even though a lot of people say like the 160 ult is super high, I mean, her kit quite literally gives energy everywhere. Her skill is going to give her 5 extra energy, so she has 35 energy per skill. Her tech talent is going to give an extra 2 energy every time you deal an attack during her ult. So obviously follow-up attacks are going to give her ult like more uptime. So you might be able to get an extra, or might be able to trigger it 1 turn sooner if you are on a follow-up team versus not a follow-up team, but regardless. And her signature is going to give like 15% energy regen too. So even without it though, Bronya's light cone, energy light cone. Anyway, now for this side with Serval, it's not necessarily as strong as the Himeko Herta, like whatsoever. We're not going to be dealing anywhere near the amount of damage that were dealt in the first side. The 40k really just helps set us up, so all we need to do is just get to Sam. If we get to the 3rd wave, then we win and we don't have to worry about it. If our goal was to get 40k on both sides, obviously we wouldn't build a team like this. Yukong is not the best character to use in Pure Fiction, but you're going to see how we kind of maximize her the most. I don't really know if it works out too well because we're not going to get that many points here. But as you can see, that ult is going to get our ult up on Serval because she gets energy every time you attack a shocked enemy. And as you can see, already have our ult up, which is wonderful. Ideally, if Serval had gotten hit, or if we had got that kill, not if she got hit. If she had got that kill, she would have actually gained that extra energy, and she would have been able to pop her ult twice within the Yukong ult. So that would have been a crazy synergy if we could have pulled it off. Unfortunately, we didn't. Now, our Yukong is not E6 in this. Usually when I use Yukong to my main account, it's E6. This means that whenever we want to use our ult, we always have to use our skill before, which is quite unfortunate, but we have to make it work. The 100 energy cost of Serval is actually disgusting. And her E2, paired with an energy regen rope, constant ults, constant ults. As you can see, 1 attack, or I don't even know if Serval attacked actually. No, I think she did, yeah. 1 attack plus a Tingyan ult gets our ult up perfect. Now at this point, we'll take the shield off that little thing, and then we'll let Serval clean everything up. Hopefully it wipes everything. Beautiful. Okay, 50k points. 2.5 cycles to go. At this point, we kind of want all the TVs to be happy, but it takes a little bit of planning if you start doing it early. So we're just going to wait until the next couple turns and then decide when we attack the TVs to make sure that they're happy. And we can break the little fishes. It won't kill them, but it should push them back a little bit so we don't take that stupid AoE damage and the depth shard that it applies to us. Perfect. And now we have Roaring Bowstring set up. We are going to ult with Yukong because we're going to keep the buff anyways. And now if the TV targets Yukong, then her ult is up more for the next turn. I did build Yukong with crit, but then when I actually used her in this team, since she's not buffed by anybody, by Hanya or Tingyan, it just does no damage. So there's almost no benefit of actually building Yukong for damage here. So since we have our ult up, it's going to transition everybody. So ideally everybody is angry here, and then we turn them happy. Or the TV just wipes out everything and we don't. Oh, okay. The TV still survived with a sliver. Now, unfortunately, it screwed up everything. I was trying to make them both happy, and now literally all 3 are angry. Yeah, that's actually a terrible, terrible situation. Hopefully we can get our ult up. We won't. I know we won't, but... Oh, that's sad. That's sad. Oh, God, that's sad. Yeah, okay, this run is not optimal whatsoever, but this is a good representation of what happens if the TVs screw you. You can play around the TVs, but sometimes it's just... Ugh. Especially when the fish dies. When the fish die, then everything, it just sets off a whole chain reaction. You can't do anything. We're only halfway done with Wave 2, but we only have a cycle and a half left to go. This is looking kind of rough, I'll be honest. If Yukong was any other character, Ron Mei, this would be disgustingly easy. 3.5k points left. Can we do it? Can we do it? Break the fish. I didn't speak on it, but the skill point efficiency that you have with Hanya does actually help the skill point negativeness of Yukong. Especially because when she's not E6, you have to skill even more. We'll just chip away at that healthiest thing. Or it's like, it has the most health, that little trotter. So a lot of times that will be like the only remaining thing. Beautiful. Take us into Sam. Come on. 60k. Finished. We win. Done. I really wish I could have done this without Himeko. I tried really hard. It didn't work. QQ and Herta. First side. This close. This close. Actually, it wasn't this close. It was like this close. It was pretty far. And it's done. Maybe we can squeeze in an extra 10k. Or 100 points. 189 points. Oh, 1k. There we go. 61. Finished. Done. So for the teams, the first side, we did opt for the energy, the extrapolation. What this does is it increases our ult uptime. Herta and Himeko just constantly ult. Pela especially does not actually, or is not able to apply her defense shred to everybody consistently. So this is able to make us constantly defense shred everybody and then wipe the waves. The next side, we did opt for Reducto ad absurdum. It's like a Harry Potter spell or something. But apart from follow-up attacks, all other damage is going to increase the drop thing, the little bomb. So when a team doesn't have any follow-up triggers, it's good to have this just to increase that dot damage a bit. Or dice damage. Now, Himeko does have a pretty good crit rate on Genius Repose. Put her on a 4-piece Quantum. Synergizes a little bit with Pela, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. Energy Regen does really help get our ults up. Possible attack might be fine too. Didn't seem to have any problems in this run, though. E1 just gives a little bit of speed. I don't even know if it matters too much. Seriousness of Breakfast on Herta on a 2-piece follow-up and 2-piece Ice. I actually put them on set. Wow. And 2-piece Salsodo. I don't even know what I'm saying. This is the first time I've ever had a character be on a proper set. Pela. You build her with Tutorial, you can actually forego all the effect hit rate and only go for attack and crit subs. It's what I did. Unfortunately, did not output anywhere near the amount of damage I would have liked. I was originally doing it off of the Eagle set, and her crit ratio was much better. Then decided to put the Eagle set on just for more consistent defense shreds. Took her crit rate down by 25%, but hopefully we can just trigger one attack to deal enough damage to take somebody past 50%. We trigger a Herta follow-up, and there's the attack. Done. Asta, 146, not too fast, but on cog, so we constantly get the ult up plus messenger for a little bit extra speed. E4. Perfect. Serval. On Himeko's Light Cone, great for Pure Fiction. 2-piece Prisoner, and that's it. Salsodo, okay. And E3 Serval, so this team is much, much left to improve. Tingyun is kind of fast. Nothing too special. Kind of low attack, but she's chunky. It's good. Hanya is very fast on Dance, Dance, Dance. Hanya is super easy to build fast. Ton of speed traces, high base speed. Pretty good. E2. And Yukong. The speed tuning on Yukong is kind of rough. This is where I found that usually she's able to go before Serval with all the speed boosts that we're going to give. And E4 really sucks. E6 is where you want Yukong to be, but we made it work, I guess. That is the run. We used Serval 4-star team and Herta Himeko 4-star team. Let me know what you guys thought. Join the Discord, like the video, comment, subscribe. That's a lot of things. Just do one of them. Thank you, and adios.